Roads? It's the Ernest Hancock Show. Where we're going, there aren't any roads.
Welcome back to Declare Your Independence with me, Ernest Hancock, here in Phoenix, Arizona, from the studios of Freedom's Phoenix Farm. 20 chickens, 3 goats, and we just started planting all of our crops, and we're just, we're gonna survive this thing. And one of the things that we knew that we needed was some precious metals. Right after you get a bunch of food underneath your bed, know what I mean? So we've been accumulating silver since, I don't know, it was a lot less. And I'm going, wow. My daughter got married a couple of years ago, and I gave her 300 ounces of silver and said, you just keep it. You'll love me a long time later. Yeah, who's their daddy now? Yep, right here. I understand the value of silver. I understand the value of people understanding the history and so on. And fraud, let me tell you where the fraud is. Federal Reserve is the fraud. I understand that, but that is not what they're going to be defending against. They're going to be defending against, making sure the jury understands that this gentleman over here, Bernard von Nauhaus, he's advocating that this is currency in competition with, and they can do it, and he can't, and ouch, quit it, and make them stop, and boom, and they did. So now we're going to appeal. Now, Heather, what is it they're going to depend upon to try and prevail on appeal?
Well, not being an appellate lawyer, I would imagine that they will attack the jury instructions that were presented to the jury as not having been adequate. The application of the law. I mean, they can't appeal the facts per se, because that has been a determination that was passed upon by the jury, and it's not appealable. Once the jury makes a decision, that's it. That's why it's so important. But they can appeal the application of the law to those facts.
Well, do you think they're going? Was there ever a plea deal offered? Are they going to go light on him, or they're going to throw the book at him and he's going to spend the rest of his life in jail? I mean, how do you think this is going to play out?
I wish I knew.
Let me ask some questions that I jotted down that I wanted to, let's talk about volume. You were saying there were 10 million rounds in circulation. Is that the peak at what they had out?
Right. I would say that was the...
Not the paper, but the actual rounds, right?
No, the issue was never the paper. The issue is not the paper. The paper's not illegal, and the only reason why why anybody's going to lose their investment in the Liberty Dollar is because the rounds were backing the paper. The rounds are now determined by the federal government to be criminal contraband, and so they will be forfeited to the federal government because everything with the Liberty Dollar image on it, the word Liberty Dollar, the word Northfed, Liberty Services, anything. The government wants it. I mean, the minute the minute he was found guilty, they had the forfeiture team right there. I mean, in the courtroom, telling him basically, empty your pockets. We want it all.
So now, how much did they seize? I remember it was right. I'll tell you what happened. It was right when they started putting Ron Paul's image on it. We had already just started the process, had it up on Freedom's Phoenix. Yeah, we're going to order some of these. I want to get some copper. I want to get this. Boom, they came in and seized it all. How much did they seize?
Well, I cannot quantify exactly, but it was 6 tons of metal.
Whoa.
Yeah, it at the time of the seizure was worth anywhere from $3.5 to $4 million. In today's dollars, it's roughly estimated to be about $15 million.
Wow!
But I wanted to touch on a subject that you had, left when we went out to break, and that was other alternative currencies that are out there. And I mean, perfectly clear, Ernie, the federal government was very clear about this situation. It is illegal to compete with the Federal Reserve on
it is
any
an act
level.
of domestic terrorism.
Okay. This 486 United States Code, Title 18, 486, which is what he was prosecuted with. Now listen to this. It says, whoever, except as authorized law, makes or utters or passes or attempts to utter or pass any coins of gold or silver or other metal, or alloys of metals intended for use as current money, whether in the resemblance of coins of the United States or of foreign countries or of original design. Okay? That's everything.
No, they're afraid.
They don't want you trading in anything.
Well, this is, see, how we understood this. And what we did is in 2007, one of the co-chairs for Ron Paul's campaign here is a senator named Karen Johnson. And she came to us. She was concerned about the Amero and they were going to, challenge our currency and sovereignty and all this other stuff. And what could we do? Well, Pal Gamble, my senior editor, and I wrote legislation that got passed and signed into law by Janet Napolitano when she was governor, no less. Our centennial is coming up February of next year. They are minting commemorative medallions, 1 ounce gold, silver, and copper medallions here in Arizona, not later. So what we did is we said it's not whether you call it a dollar. It's not whether it's, legal tender or currency or whatever, blah, 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 blah. Everybody wants to challenge that. Why? Who cares? It has the value what I say it has the value. And if it's minted by the state of Arizona and authorized and laid hands on by the state treasurer, well, that's good enough for a lot of people. Now I know I got 0.999 or whatever. And that's it. That's all you need to do. I said, I don't care about challenging them. I don't care about calling it a dollar. I don't care about anything other than we put medallions, plural, it could be in denominations up to 1 ounce, and to supply all public demand in sufficient quantity to supply all public demand. So I'm going, done, we're done. I don't need to challenge, done. Done.
Not exactly, okay?
Explain it to me.
This title, Section 486, is very clear. It says, intended for use as current money. No,
that's intended for a medallion. I just trade it, barter, whatever I want. My medallion's worth that many eggs. Now what?
Yeah, well,
now what?
Try and prove that.
I'm going to.
Try and prove that, because what they came into court and claimed is that current money is anything that is used in a transaction. What is a transaction? An exchange of goods and services.
Oh,
that is what
bring it on.
Claiming.
Bring it on. Hey,
See what I'm saying?
No,
well,
I understand perfectly what you're
they
saying.
Did.
Well, see, the problem is that if you it's intended for, by who? The state of Arizona. It's commemorative medallion. We intended it for a commemorative medallion. So you have this one person going and trading it for. I just got 3 goats because I'm lazy, don't want to mow the extra lawn that we got now.
Don't want to mow your lawn.
So I go, let me see. How much in silver does it cost for me to get some goats? 3 goats were 5 ounces of silver that I originally bought for like $80. So I got 3 goats for $80. And I'm going, let me think. How much is it for me to buy a mower to do the same thing? What, 3-4 times that? So I'm going, you know what? We got some goats now, all right? So I go to a person on Craigslist, or I sell the medallions to someone else, or even go down somewhere to sell them and get the cash, Federal Reserve notes, or I do, and barter, and they're going to come after me and say, oh, man, you traded, you can't have it as intended for whatever. Bring it on, man, let's go. So they're going to have to go at Craigslist transactions. All right, fine.
Yeah. The Internal Revenue Service intends on doing that because, unless you claim that on, and pay your state sales tax, I'm not sure what the laws in Arizona are, but you're required to pay your sales tax.
But you see, that's a cleaner argument than sitting there trying to directly compete with the Federal Reserve using the word dollar and so on. So my thing is that now we're in a situation to where we are going to be bartering because economics are going to. Here we go. It's coming down. Mm-hmm. We're going to be trading. We're going to be trading food. We're going to be who's got beans? Who's got a garden? Who's got chickens?
Yep.
So I see where this is going, and I'm so glad you were there to chronicle this and walk us through this. But I do not want it to be lost on people that are interested in paying attention to this on what happened and why. And the seeds were sown over a decade ago of exactly where this was going to play out. So, but that doesn't mean silver isn't valuable and shouldn't be used. It's all the more reason why the government doesn't want it to be used is because it's valuable.
Right. Well, I just don't want to see it have a chilling effect on everyone that is, using silver, because that is their intention, and that's why they put out that FBI warning. They wanted to let you know, don't you dare cross them.
Of course they did. Of course they did, which gives it all the more value.
Well, I've got my Liberty dollars, and I'll tell you, I'm a criminal. Whatever, they won't be taking them from me.
No, I got my share. There's always somebody give me something for something. Hey, Heather Lewis, thanks for coming on, and let's getting this all out in the open, and we'll be paying attention on the appeal. We'll be right back
thank you, Ernie.
We'll be right back with Saudi Arabia, Ahmed Amula. Uncovering the secrets and exposing the lies. That's what readers of freedomsphoenix.com get every day. Readers of freedomsphoenix.com are constantly provided the information that detail the real news between the lines of propaganda about government policies and the true relationship we all have with coercive governments. Learn the true condition of our economy, innovations and technological breakthroughs in energy, health, computer science, and space travel. Learn the truth well before it's admitted to in the lamestream media, the media that is so last century. Corporate media has evolved into nothing more than distributors of government propaganda, but we now have a fantastic alternative. FreedomsPhoenix.com provides constant news updates on the issues that affect our lives in the most important ways. Our liberty and our property are under constant attack, and FreedomsPhoenix.com provides the understanding behind the propaganda while encouraging the participation of our readers. Join us at FreedomsPhoenix.com. That's freedoms with an S, Phoenix.com. FreedomsPhoenix.com, where the revolution between the ears has already matured.